My name is Todor Mitov, and I am going to present our energy production monitoring system to you. It is called WeldWise. In short, WeldWise is an energy monitoring and management solution. It is designed to track, analyze, and optimize energy consumption in industrial environments. The system enables real-time monitoring, automated metering, efficiency detection, and most importantly, better cost allocation. It also provides clear visualization of detailed data trends, which makes decision-making much more reliable and easier to implement in practice. It can be implemented in many different kinds of SMEs, so this brings great value to the system. It can be used in manufacturing companies, in the agri-food industry, and even in hospitals, hospitality, retail, offices, and administration. So you can go as broad as possible, but also as specific as needed. The expected benefits are, I think, quite clear. Firstly, improved energy efficiency. Secondly, better control over production-related energy costs. Thirdly, early detection of anomalies and inefficiencies. And finally, better decision-making, as I already mentioned, based on real information, which makes decision-making much more justified. The implementation goes through several stages. First, there is the visit to the SME manufacturing site. This includes taking a look at the production process, evaluation and assessment of the manufacturing, and pinpointing concrete problems that need to be solved. Then comes the installation of energy monitoring devices, followed by training of the personnel or the management body on how to use the system. After that, there is a very crucial stage, which is evaluating the impact and validating the solution. This is something we did for around 1 week, comparing the old measuring methods with the system so we could confirm that the results shown by the system are real. Basically, it is not garbage in, garbage out. It is real information. What WeldWise basically is, as I already mentioned, is a modular system. This means it can be adapted to specific needs, different companies, different machines, and different production setups. On the right side, you can see the hardware. It is small hardware and it is not too expensive. It needs to be installed on various machines. Also, this is something that most SMEs here in Bulgaria, and I think in most of Eastern Europe, could really benefit from. Buying a new smart machine can be a very big cost that not all SMEs can afford. But retrofitting some hardware can give you very valuable information. As I said, the system works in real time. You need LAN cables, which bring the information quite fast, and an energy connection. This gives you access to the dashboard from various machines, various phones, and from anywhere you want. So you can make decisions on the go, even if needed. Before the implementation, we spent some time with the company to decide how to work, because we could not really tamper with the machines. There were also some challenges, because some of the workers were not very happy with the idea of working with new machines. We tried to explain to them that we were not going to change the machines, and after that, the workers were introduced to the system. A little bit later, I will show you the dashboard that is up and running at this very moment. Even during the discussion, the dashboard started working as some sort of competition between the workers, which actually increased production. Each worker can see how much the other colleague has made, so they try to keep up. It becomes something like an in-house competition. So basically, the implementation that we did and the development of the system started around the problem of a very small SME in a rural area here in Bulgaria. The company decided to work with us on the development of the system. We went there with the idea of how we could help them, but during our visit, we found a problem that even they did not know they had. The problem was that their main production is based on building small electrical components for bigger machines and bigger electrical components. As you can see, the work is very manual and hands-on. When we spoke with the management of the SME, their main problem was tracking production pieces, because after production, each piece had to be counted manually. This created a lot of inaccuracy in the final reporting. Another big issue was how the company could evaluate the cost of something so small, meaning the cost of each piece. So, at that moment, we decided to go in this direction and monitor some of the spot welding machines. This is why the system is called WeldWise. The goal is simple: to measure energy consumption and to measure the actual production output. The goal is to connect the energy used with production performance, quality, and cost per unit. In the dashboard that I'm going to show you, you will see a calculation showing how much production is made for a certain amount of electricity consumption. So this provides a really good way to evaluate costs and gives management useful information, so they can make valuable decisions when needed. The technical solution. As I said, I am not going to go into too much detail. If someone wants to discuss this afterwards, we can do that very easily. The communication is through Wi-Fi and LAN. LAN is preferred for the speed needed for real-time monitoring. There is also a single-board computer, which is a low-cost version of a server. Used to keep and monitor the data. I think I am somehow drawing on the screen, or maybe someone else is drawing. We also managed to implement a small monitor for the workers, so they can see how their work is progressing and have a little competition. So, on the technical solution, this is the software side. The system makes it possible to visualize current measurements, generate reports, export data, and choose the most appropriate platform depending on the project context. This comes back to the modularity of the system. Even though we went quite specific on this project, with a very concrete challenge that we solved in our second implementation of the solution, we had a company in Sofia that needed visual measurements of 3 different machines: an air compressor, an oven for powder coating, and a laser cutter. So these were very different machines compared to the small spot welders in the small SME. Luckily, we managed to deliver. We managed to organize the visual system for those machines, which gives a very good visualization of energy consumption and production flow for the company. This is just the first step for the company, because they want to build a very information-based digital twin of the company. They want to have all the real information available, so they can have as accurate a digital twin as possible. This would give them the power not to guess, but to really work in a digital environment with real numbers. So, in conclusion, WeldWise offers a comprehensive solution for SMEs that want to optimize energy consumption, reduce costs, and, most importantly, improve operational efficiency by combining real-time monitoring, automated data collection, and analytics. It helps the company make better informed decisions. It also helps them use this information in different ways, so they can perform better on the global market. And finally, it supports energy efficiency, cost reduction, and early detection if there is some faulty production flow, so it can be solved early.